Typically Silvano, he got better as he got older. He accomplished a lot in a very short time, and you can't do that with a horse that hasn't got quality. It was all quality.
And it's still Vercingetorix by 3 or 4 lengths and clear. And Vercingetorix are going to win it really comfortably here as they come down to the line by about 5 lengths as they cross it.
I think it's scary where you think this horse is going to go, you know. It's going to win all races, and it's just great to have these guys aboard in our country.
He was probably the best horse this year in the yard, and we need such kind of horses to win big races on a World Cup night and to travel around the world like we did before with some other horses. And I think he was really able to win big races in Hong Kong or maybe here in England in Royal Ascot.
Vercingetorix is going through down the inside. Abercrombie, Agfast tries to run on, but Vercingetorix comes into the lead at the 200-metre marker. Abercrombie's in the blue and Everlast on the outside, but Vercingetorix is the leader. Rock Cocktail tries to fight back, but Vercingetorix has got it won.
Vercingetorix has a neck up on Cape Town Noir, who's scraping paint, and now about 8 lengths off them as No Worries given a little bit more bridle in front. Bay of Bengal Corridor is just in the picture. A reminder or two for Winthrop, and Lua Castle's got it to do from there. Vercingetorix is looking to come to the stand side. No Worries at the 300 Cape Town Noir. Vercingetorix is running the race of his life on the stand side. Cape Town Noir. Vercingetorix is now putting his hand up. Vercingetorix and Cape Town Noir. Cape Town Noir coming on. And he looks to prevail by that shorting from Cape Town Noir. Corridor's up the inside, but as they go to the line, this performance from Vercingetorix will go down in the history with that magical stride.
I really didn't feel he was sort of mentally and physically ready to beat Cape Town Noir, but you know we were confident he'd run a good race. But he showed a tremendous amount of ability. I mean, I know we haven't got to the bottom of this horse. He will improve a lot. He hasn't been entered for the July. He will be now anyway. Yeah, fantastic. You know, we bought one horse on the sale, Johan and myself, for Sheikh Mohammed at this sale, and it was this horse. For a Guineas winner to come out of it is fantastic. Well done to Claverflow as well. Yeah, I think he's a horse with a bright future, and you know, a real scopy and an exciting horse.
You know, going through the season, we looked back and we thought, geez, we've got nothing really for the July this year, and here he popped up, and yeah, he beat the favourite of the July, so that's all I can say.
Rock Cocktail goes. Yorker's down the inside second, then Abercrombie. They're followed towards the outside. Vercingetorix, Love Struck, Corridor. Down the inside, Wars tries to run on. Vercingetorix coming home powerfully now. Rock Cocktail on the inside. Vercingetorix hit the front at the 200. Wiley all on the outside. No Worries running on. Cape Town Noir comes home well. Vercingetorix holding on and won it. Cape Town Noir second, or No Worries. And behind that, Wiley Hall, then Rock Cocktail. The number 2 wins it. No Worries on that. Number 11 will run second. Third's going to go to Cape Town Noir. Wiley Hall beaten a neck into 4th position, and then Rock Cocktail. Remaining undefeated is the son of Silvano, Vercingetorix. Came from a maiden, and in less than a couple of months is now likely to be the new outright VODACOM Durban July favourite. Anthony Delpeche for Mike de Kock.
He quickens and he gets there very easy, and then he tends to loaf at the end, and he waited for them to come, and then he wanted to go again. He's a very good horse. When he learns to really race properly, this horse, then he's a serious horse.
Yeah, he was a tremendous horse, and he gave us a lot of pleasure, that horse. And he was a horse that went in 4 runs from a maiden to a Guineas and a Group 1 winner, yeah. He accomplished a lot in a very short time, and you can't do that with a horse that hasn't got quality. It was all quality. Typically Silvano, he got better as he got older. I mean, he never raced at 2 because he did injure himself, but he was never going to be a 2-year-old. He was a nice 3-year-old, but he was a much better 4-year-old. And I mean, let's face it, anybody who owns horses in this game today, I don't want the champion 2-year-old and have nothing at 3 and 4. I want the horse that can that can run until he's 5 and 6 years old and keep reproducing and giving you pleasure. He's got a hell of a dam line, actually, if one looks at it. You know, he's got a real chance with that dam line. As you say, all the speed, brilliance of milers and 7 furlong horses as well. So, I mean, he's got a lot of the attributes that one would want to start off with. Whether they make it or not, that's the gamble. But, you know, it's the gamble we're all prepared to take.
Vercingetorix in the middle, then to Bowie, followed by Starboard on the rail, Code of Honour, and further back Regulation as Gale Force 10 lays it down to Captain Joy. Vercingetorix is about to go through between the pair. Simeon gives him full bore, and Vercingetorix went to the front with 200 to go. 4 Jats chasing. Code of Honour steaming down the outside. Vercingetorix in front of 4 Jat and Code of Honour. Vercingetorix is tired. He's hanging on. Code of Honour's too late, and the King of the Gauls has won. Anna Arabio's moved away from the rail. Left the fence. Vercingetorix has room on the inside, then Quick Wit, followed by Vancouverite and Mushrek on the outside. Vercingetorix went through on the inside to join Anna Arabio, past the 200 metres mark. Vancouverite third. Tradestorm's running on out wide, but it's too late. Vercingetorix in front, and Vercingetorix is too good. Vancouverite second, Anna Arabio third.
Yeah, extremely lucky, Andrew, to have managed to land him to come to Maine Chance. He went through the divisions very quickly, straight up into the Group 1s, where he won at weight for age terms, beating Cape Town Noir, who's now going to stud Wiley Hall, who we've all seen what he's come out and done, all in that Daily News race. And then obviously he went overseas and he put in some huge runs there behind great horses like Just Away, who was the Longines Horse of the Year in that scintillating duty-free performance. He obviously ran just behind him there. And unfortunately went a little bit wrong during his prep for the duty-free, which was a race he looked like he'd start off as one of the favourites, just about to go and win it. So a little bit unfortunate, but to our benefit and to the breeding industry of the country.
Vercingetorix followed him forward. He's about to launch a claim, and Just Away went forward behind the King of the Gauls, and Just Away for Japan sprinted, coming to the 250 metres mark, and Just Away dashed away from Vercingetorix.
We would have loved him to have won the duty-free, which would have been classic, but we bumped a horse in Just Away that day who put in literally a Horse of the Year, World Horse of the Year performance, because that's where he earned that monster rating of 130 or whatever it was, and went on to be the Longines Horse of the Year. And look, he won a Group 1 here in the Daily News. He went to Dubai and won the Jebel Hatta, won a Group 1 race overseas in Dubai. So, I mean, it just shows you. He was a top 3-year-old. He trained on to be a top 4-year-old, international Group 1 winner by champion sire and Silvano out of a mare by the Great National Assembly. Everything is there for Vercingetorix, and he's received great support from the breeders in terms of sales for shares, and there's still nominations available to him.
Mr. Pomeroy the rail, True Story the outside, and now Vercingetorix comes to the outside to give chase, and Simeon hasn't moved a muscle yet. James Doyle's working overtime, and the King has gone to the front. With 200 metres left to go, Vercingetorix gets away from True Story, then Mr. Pomeroy. Now he gives him a click, and Vercingetorix opens up a little, but he'll be an easy winner.
Everything on track for him to stand his first season and studded here in South Africa?
Yeah, everything's on track at the moment. Obviously, he did have that injury, which did delay procedures in the beginning a little bit. He needed to pass the veterinary procedures and all that type of thing. And obviously, getting horses over here from Dubai does take a little bit of time. So, as you say, he'll need a couple of weeks and a month or so at Maine Chance to freshen up and be at his absolute picturesque best. But we expect him to stand him here, and he'll be ready to go for the beginning of the season.
They talk in racing parlance about size of size, whether it's Northern Dance or Sadler's Wells or whatever you're talking about, but there's no doubt in my mind that Silvano is already proving himself to be a horse that can produce that stallion to proliferate his genes.
Yeah, Andrew, I'd be very surprised if Silvano doesn't become a sire of sires. I mean, his sire Lamatos passed it on to Silvano. Lamatos is a great stallion himself. Silvano has gone on, and he's obviously got a relatively young career in terms of broodmares in the country, but he's already had broodmares that are producing very good horses. So he's thrown it on the dam side, and I'm sure he'll be a sire of sires. Obviously, Bold Silvano is a horse that stands at stud here, but early to judge him. He hasn't had runners yet.
He was very well received at the National Yearling Sales.
He was, and his progeny sold for good prices, as you say. So, it all points there. And with all due respect to Bold Silvano, Vercingetorix probably has been the best performed son of Silvano on the racetrack anyway.
He was probably the best horse this year in the yard, and we need such kind of horses to win big races on a World Cup night and to travel around the world like we did before with some other horses. And I think he was really able to win big races in Hong Kong or maybe here in England in Royal Ascot.
And now Vercingetorix comes to the outside to give Jason Sumion. Hasn't moved a muscle yet. James Doyle's working overtime and the King has gone to the front. With 200 metres left to go, Vercingetorix gets away from True Story. Then Mr. Pomeroy. Now he gives him a click and Vercingetorix opens up the level. He'll be an easy winner of the El